Hello everyone, welcome to Anime No Mi, and thank you for joining us for another One Piece video. The Hito no Mi, or human fruit, is something that's been in One Piece for quite a long time, and fans have had more and more questions since we've seen the awakening of Luffy's fruit. Now, many wonder about its real ability, in addition to its peculiarity of working perfectly on animals only, and really being non-working in any human that were to eat it. So in today's video, we're going to talk about the mysteries that come with this fruit, about its great capacity that hasn't been explored within our story of One Piece, and about how powerful Chopper has managed to become when he finally got that fruit. But before we dive into the video, if you're new to the channel, or even if you've watched a bunch of our videos, we'd be absolutely honored if you'd leave us a like, and even subscribe, and maybe leave us a comment letting us know what you thought of the video. It really helps us out, especially with that old YouTube algorithm, and it keeps motivating us to make more content. And if you'd like to help out the channel in a bigger way, consider sharing this video or another one of your favorites with a friend. But without further ado, let's get into the video. So my friends, as we've learned throughout the story of One Piece, Zoan is one of 3 categories of devil fruits, but it's the only category that not only completely modifies the body of the user, but the mind of the user as well. This category of devil fruit grants the user the ability to transform into completely ordinary or even mythological beings, allowing the user to assume the full form of this animal, a hybrid form of the animal between their human body and the animal form, or even return to their original human state. Among all the Zoan users we've observed throughout our story, one of the most notable is Tony Chopper, the crew doctor of the Straw Hat Pirates. Now, Chopper's Zoan is unique in many ways, and not just because he's done further modifications to it, because while most Zoans allow the user to transform into a single form, Chopper has modified his fruit and given himself the ability to transform in multiple different forms. After eating the Hito no Mi, Chopper could stay in his original reindeer form, as well as assume a human reindeer hybrid. But on top of that, with all their modifications and rumble balls, he's developed things like his guard point, kung fu and fighter point, as well as a monster point where he becomes a gigantic, ferocious version of himself, allowing him to have great versatility in all the different battles that they participated in. So as I said earlier, Chopper's fruit is officially known as the Hito no Mi, the human fruit. It is no other thing, it has no other nika or special qualities to it, at least as far as we know. And so far, it just allows him the ability to transform into a human form. And this is quite rare among Zoans because every other Zoan we've seen just turns into some kind of animal. And that's unusual in itself, but speculation about the possibility that Chopper Zoan is more of a mythical form goes further beyond that. You see, mythical fruits are a special classification within devil fruits, being considered the rarest and most powerful because they grant unique abilities that don't fall into Paramecia or Logia categories. Now, a notable example of mystic fruits or mythic fruits would be the Hito no Mi model Nika, the Tori no Mi model Phoenix, or even the Hito no Mi model Buddha. And there are several theories supporting the possibility that Chopper's Zoan fruit is actually a mythical version of a devil fruit, and one of them is related to his ability to transform into several different forms using his medicine along with the power of his fruit. Throughout our story of One Piece, mythical devil fruits have often shown traits that transcend the normal limitations of their respective classes, and Chopper's ability to transform into different other forms other than the standard 3 is something that no other Zoan has shown us so far, and it could be an indication that his fruit is indeed a mythical class. Now, it's not uncommon for us to see devil fruits that have classifications or even names completely different from what we've initially been presented, and many times the truth about these fruits has been hidden just to favor the world government, and thus preventing the world from knowing about the truth behind these mysterious fruits. Additionally, Chopper's ability to transform in multiple other forms, including Monster Point, is another thing to consider, because mythical devil fruits often grant the user exceptional and unique powers, and Chopper's ability to transform into a gigantic and extremely powerful form would fit this profile, even though we could consider his medical knowledge to be superior, and it might be the thing, or even perhaps it's an awakening of his devil fruit. But speaking of awakenings, it's still important to point out that up to this point in our story, it is yet to be confirmed that Chopper has indeed awakened the power of his devil fruit. So the true nature of Chopper's fruit does remain a mystery that can only be revealed in time. But regardless of Chopper's official fruit classification, his unique ability and distinctive transformations make him an extremely valuable member of the Straw Hat pirate crew, and his special Zoan and multiple forms contribute to the strength and his versatility in battle, making him one of One Piece's most beloved and interesting, and let's just be honest, adorable characters. We've also observed throughout our story of One Piece that Chopper really has taken every single thing from his devil fruit and extracted the greatest of potential from this fruit that could otherwise be considered really quite lame, creating multiple other forms and even using his fruit for different purposes to fit the situation at hand. expand. So in addition to that, this fruit possibly still could have great evolutionary potential, just like some of the other devil fruits we've seen in our story. So imagine for a moment that this fruit might have an even greater potential, a hidden power that Chopper hasn't fully mastered yet, also known as the full awakening of his devil fruit. From the devil fruits that have been presented in our story, we can see that they possess a wide range of variations as well as some very unique characteristics. But many of those fruits and their abilities are still unknown to us as the audience. But in the case of Chopper's fruit, it's possible to speculate that it could hide an additional power, capable of granting him extraordinary abilities that go beyond his animal transformations. Because just consider the fact that we've never seen Chopper fully turn into a complete human form, which is something we've seen in every other form of devil fruit, at least in the Zoan class. Considering the devil fruit's background and what we've learned, it's absolutely plausible to assume that the true potential of the Chopper fruit could be unlocked through his continual improvement, experimentation, as well as rigorous training. And perhaps by further exploring this mysterious fruit, Chopper could achieve new forms of transformation with even further unique characteristics and abilities that surpass the limits of his animal nature. Furthermore, Chopper's own personality as well as his mindset could play a crucial role in discovering and mastering these hidden powers. Because perhaps he needs to overcome some internal challenges or strife, develop a deeper connection to his own identity, and even mature as an individual to unlock the full potential of this special fruit. For all we know, these unknown powers could actually allow Chopper to control his transformations even more precisely, amplifying his physical strength, speed, stamina, and agility to extraordinary levels. And furthermore, he could also acquire new special abilities related to that existing human being inside the fruit that Chopper ate. But to unlock this additional power, Chopper's gonna have to dedicate himself to training or even confronting an extremely powerful enemy, exploring the limits of his devil fruit and broadening his understanding of the capabilities it offers. By going through this, he would become an even greater force in the Straw Hat Pirates crew, significantly contributing to the realization of their captain, Monkey D. Luffy's dreams. Now, we have to admit, this possibility is purely speculative, but it's still fascinating to imagine the possibilities that could emerge from the unknown. The hidden power of Chopper's fruit might just be waiting to be discovered and unlocked, bringing exciting surprises to One Piece as well as to us fans who follow the adventures of this iconic crew. So let's now take a moment to go a little bit deeper and talk about what Chopper gained when he actually consumed the Hito Hito no Mi. Chopper not only gained the ability to transform into a human-animal hybrid form, but he also gained the ability to understand human language, and that was what gave him his initial ability to develop the bonds that he got while he was still on the island before joining the crew. But this allowed him to directly communicate with other people as well as gain his medical knowledge, and this in turn gave him the ability to directly communicate with other crew members and establish these deeper bonds and strengthen his position, not only as a new burgeoning human and intelligence, but eventually as a Straw Hat pirate. With Chopper's ability to transform into different hybrid forms, this has also given him very specific abilities that make him extremely versatile in battle. For example, his brain point form enhances his reasoning and perception capabilities, allowing him to analyze combat strategies as well as identify weaknesses in his opponents. Another notable form of Chopper's is Heavy Point, where he increases his size and physical strength to take on larger and more powerful enemies. And this form is particularly useful in close combat situations, where Chopper can use his enhanced strength to deliver powerful strikes against his foes as if he's going into hand-to-hand combat. Now, of course, one of Chopper's most impressive transformations is Monster Point, which he can only achieve by consuming multiple Rumble Balls. But in this form, Chopper becomes a gigantic creature with increased strength, endurance, and until he learned how to control it, savage bestial instincts. So prior to the time skip, this transformation was accompanied by a temporary loss of his consciousness, making Chopper unpredictable and potentially dangerous even to his allies. So as a result, Chopper tries to avoid using Monster Point unless it is absolutely necessary. Now, in addition to his physical abilities, Chopper has also turned into one of the greatest doctors on the Grand Line through his exceptional medical skills. Now, this was through his training with Dr. Hirolook and Dr. Kureha on Drum Island, and he's become an expert in medicine and, again, is one of the best doctors that we've seen in the series because his intelligence and medical knowledge have allowed him to heal very critical injuries as well as treat complex illnesses and produce effective medicines for his crew. Chopper's continued evolution is also evident in his quest for improvement because he's constantly studying and experimenting with new medicinal formulas and looking for ways to improve his combat skills. And additionally, he's also looked to learn from other talented doctors that he's encountered throughout his adventures because Chopper's ultimate dream is being able to treat any illness in the world. And what we saw in Wano, although Chopper did get a little bit of shine in treating Queen's virus, we could expect that in this final saga, Chopper's gonna get further character development and we'll get to see, perhaps, the zenith of what his fruit is actually capable of. So overall, Chopper's evolution through his fruit, the Hito no Mi, has been a journey of self-discovery and improvement. And he's gone from being a timid and insecure little blue-nosed reindeer to a valued and respected member of the Straw Hat Pirates, contributing not only to the crew, but the medicinal world of One Piece overall. So as we continue through this final saga of One Piece, we have to know that Chopper's Devil Fruit is going to play a key role in his transformations, as well as his evolution. And we could see that it's going to provide him with further unique abilities that are going to help him overcome the challenges that await him and become the true hero and great doctor that he wishes to become. There's even that possibility that Chopper could completely learn to control his powers and even attain a full human form. But what we have to do in the meantime is wait to see what Oda-sensei has for us and all the great development for our favorite characters. So with all that said, my friends, we'd now love to know what you think about it. What's your favorite version of Chopper's transformations? Is it Heavy Point, Kung Fu Point, Antler Point? I mean, the list is quite long, so obviously we couldn't go through every single transformation. So what's your favorite? And I know we all love the adorable, like, infant grandpa version that happened after, using the enhanced rumble balls that he developed with Caesar. But let's think outside the box, and what do you think is his absolute best transformation? Next, what do you think that Chopper has in store, and what further transformations do you think he'll have at his disposal? Could Chopper really become a full human? Because for every other Zoan fruit, we see that the person who ate it is able to maintain their human form as well as their full animal form. So why haven't we seen Chopper become a total human? He's always still has his blue nose and his fur. So do you think it could go further than that? Let us know what you think about all that in the comments below. So as we wrap up our video today, we'd like to thank you all so much for watching, especially those of you who've made it here to the very end. Be sure to comment on any themes or ideas that you'd like to see in future videos. And also, since you made it this far, give us a like and hit that subscribe button before you head out to take on the rest of your day. I look forward to seeing you all in our next video. Let's keep sailing this giant sea together. Take care.